We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race. We hold it tight in every space, making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last. Making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last.
Time for another conversation. Welcome to Making It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. And this time around, to unpack something technological, but we'll get into that shortly. I have Peter. No, I pronounced his name just right just now. Now I'm getting overly conscious, Peter. I don't know why. Busulwa, is that it?
That works, yeah.
No, no, don't tell me that works. How is the
That
last
works.
name pronounced
It's
again?
Busulwa.
Busulwa. Okay,
Yeah.
Busulwa. He's originally from Uganda, but he's now currently living in the States. He's the founder of EQ Telecom. Tell us what that is.
So I started EQ Telecom just because I kept seeing families kind of stuck between two bad options, right? Either you hand over a child, you want to stay connected to your child, and either you hand them over a smartphone too early because you try and stay connected to them,
Mm.
or especially for a teenager, you have them a smartphone, but it has all these monitoring tools. And so you're kind of like invading their privacy at a time when you need that door for communication to be open. So effectively,
Mm-hmm.
you're closing it. And I was like, well, when you were kids, we had flip phones and you're fine. So how about we bring that back? You can stay connected to them. You can give them a device that works for their level of maturity
Mm-hmm.
without getting them stuck in any bad habits. And that's basically what we do. We
Okay.
provide flip phones and focus on getting them to parents who are trying to connect to their kids and provide simple, affordable plans to go with it. Just talk and text or very limited data with the phone in case you need like maps or browsing, some kind of directions to get where you need to go.
Which is a nice segue then into what we're going to be unpacking for a little bit, which is using technology to connect, not disconnect.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Okay.
There you go
Tell
then.
me, how do you feel about that?
Using technology to
Using tele
connect.
to connect, not disconnect. And let me tell you part of the thinking behind this.
Okay.
More often than not, when you see people in spaces, regardless of the age group, I'm realizing these days, you have a bunch of people sitting on a table and they're all on their phones.
Gotcha. Well, I think it
Mm.
starts so with our like philosophy, it starts really early, right? If I just to take us through the developmental phase, because right now I was talking about kids and teens, right?
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
maybe I'll start with a personal story. I think a lot of people can relate to this, especially if you have kids or teens that you're trying to raise. So I
Okay.
remember when I was a kid, I got into my teenage years. I was cool. I knew everything, and my my parents, as far as I was concerned, had no idea about life. Because I
Mm,
was the teenager and I was the smart one. And I remember distinctly one time where like I I don't know how it happened. Like I opened up to my mom, and she actually listened, right? And I wasn't expecting it, but I remember in that moment thinking like, oh, she's cool. I can talk to her. I can connect with her.
mhm.
And so we started talking, right? And which was weird. Like I never like talked to my parents that much and told them about what was going on in my life. But then also, like a teenager, when you're a teenager, like whatever is going to ruin your life is like nothing compared to an adult, right? So I don't even
Mhm,
remember what I shared to my mom, but she laughed. And I
mhm,
don't think she meant anything by it, right? But I think she just laughed because it was so incredulous that this was like the end all be all for me, right?
mhm.
And I shut down completely. I never talked to her. We never talked about it. She had no idea. All she saw is like this guy who used to talk to her about stuff stopped talking to her. And and then when I think about just what I was sharing about like getting kids like a monitoring phone so you can
Mm-hmm.
watch their every text and watch who's calling. I think it comes from a good place with very good
Mm-hmm.
intention. But similarly, like that relationship is very delicate and it closes that door. So the way I see it, that is the first place connection breaks, right? It is well intentioned. You're trying to raise a kid. It's a time where they need a lot of mentorship from you, but the tool available makes that connection really difficult without knowing. So again, but if you give a kid like age appropriate independence, then the door for us stays open for you to come and hopefully have those opportunities to connect that allow them to like learn to open up to you and for you to learn, to talk to them the way they need to be talked to. Um, that's one side of it.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of adults today, again, I think it's sad, right? Because again, when I grew up again from a time before the iPhone, right? And I didn't have a device that just like pulls me pulls me away. There's so many things. I mean, it's a business, right? It's the attention economy, like, and
Mm-hmm.
they're very,
Mm-hmm.
very, very good at grabbing your attention, right? So I'll grab, like, I need to sell something. I have the hook that I'm just going to just make you stop the scroll, get
Mm-hmm.
you pulled into whatever I need to share with you. And Instagram is built for you to keep scrolling. You scroll to the
Right,
next thing, to
right.
the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. Before you know it, 4 hours are
Mm-hmm.
gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And same thing. I mean, for adults, it is different, but like it's sad that this kid that's disconnected from their parent now, whenever they watch their parent, the parent is stuck doing the same thing, right? While monitoring them
Mm-hmm.
and telling them, hey, you should be off the phone. So it's kind of a two devices, in my perspective, are kind of a two-pronged problem. We're trying to force kids not to do it, but at the same time, as adults, I think we need to take a deeper look inside on our own habits to kind of assess the problem and not just give up, and be like, well, this is the way life is. But I believe there's something we can do about it on both ends.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace.
More often than not, we get so caught up in our devices. This thing, yes. And why? When we have people around us, we're supposed to be connecting, not disconnecting. But we're going to continue the conversation about this, but we must take a break and get a word from our partners.
Does your week feel heavy? Are you in a moment of pause, unsure of what's next? Consider this your gentle nudge. Every Wednesday, pull up a chair in the waiting room, that quiet space between what was and what's coming. A place for honest conversations, steady faith, and hope that meets you right where you are. I'm Carrie Thomas Black, and this is Between Doors, the Waiting Room podcast, where we navigate the in between with faith, hope, and purpose. Because even here, there is faith in the waiting, strength in the lessons, and triumph in the journey. See you in the waiting room.
Your breakthrough is coming soon. When you meet him in the waiting room.
Welcome to Winner Sound Media, streaming innovation amplified. Body to body, idea to idea, feel the signal come alive. Welcome to Sound Media. Turn your living room to sky. If you feel that spark and free up, let it move you. Don't ask why.
Hi everyone, Delmas Brown here, National Debating Champion 2017, also graduate of Northern Caribbean University, Governor General awardee for Excellence 2018, and also international researcher, international debater, among other things. Now, the reason behind this video is to introduce you to the world's best communications coach who has made all of these kinds of accomplishments possible. Now, for 4 years, I had the opportunity or privilege rather to be coached by Noreen Daly, a communications speech specialist who has done a very phenomenal job at ensuring that I no longer use unnecessary filler vocabulary, and who has also taught me the essence of communicating.
Welcome back.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Face to face, we set the pace.
To make
Okay.
things better. Yeah.
I noticed you primary. I'm gonna have you backtrack a little bit because I
Mm-hmm.
recognize that you specifically speak in terms of kids and teenagers. You
Mm-hmm.
said earlier the whole idea of age appropriate independence. How do you determine that though? Because if you then say, I think it is time for you to have a mobile phone for whatever reason, whether for safety reasons, whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
how then do you draw the line in terms of, because what you said in terms of independence, in terms of allowing them to make certain decisions in terms of the use of that same device? Understand what I'm
Yeah.
asking?
No, that is a tough one, right?
Okay.
That is a tough one, and I feel like honestly we're still figuring it out because if I take a step back, like that's what parenting is, right?
Okay.
It's like you hope you have all the answers, but you don't,
Okay.
right? Like
Okay.
one, every child is different, right?
True.
And then two, what we can do for sure is like we can provide them a very simple start. So like in my situation, I'm going to give the phone that a lot of parents like from our company is just a flip phone that is only talk and text. It doesn't have any data enabled. It doesn't have any Wi-Fi. You can't even send pictures on it, right? It's just
Okay.
very basic, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
I can give that to the kid and the kid won't get in trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good first place to start. And the thing we don't like about monitoring apps is like that is a conversation a parent and a child need to be having, right?
Okay.
To help you assess like their digital maturity.
Mm-hmm.
And the day you start like buying an app that watches all their texts and watches all their social media chats, you close that door. But if I give you a talk and text simple phone, I don't have to do that, right? So so that's giving them some independence. Yeah, maybe they may get into a text with a friend um, that's, maybe they fight with a friend and it's not so good and they get
Mm-hmm.
upset. But that again is the age appropriate independence, right? It's not like I take them to school and then
Mm-hmm.
hover over them at the lunch table and make sure they're not fighting with everybody, right? Like they need some room to breathe, right? And you
Okay.
kind of give them that with a safe flip phone.
Mm-hmm.
And as they get ready, maybe you can just add Wi-Fi to that, right? Or give them a flip
Okay.
phone with
Over
Wi-Fi.
time.
Very simple,
Okay.
right? It's still a flip phone. It's not like a huge smartphone. You don't have apps you can get lost into. You pick up the phone. If you remember trying to get onto like YouTube or Facebook on a flip phone, it was a nightmare, right? Like, and that's like the age appropriate independence, right? Like they
Okay.
have access to Wi-Fi, but there's so much friction, it's not addictive.
Okay.
So we kind of have a five-step ladder that way. You start with a simple phone, maybe with just talk and text. Then you add a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of Wi-Fi. And then you add data, but it's slow data. Again, go back to what we used to have, right? Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sometimes you had slow, you try and press to open a browser and sit there for like 3 minutes, right? Waiting for that browser to open. But if you needed directions, though, they're just like that because that doesn't need a lot of data, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe to that slow data, you switch from a flip to a smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
Again, small baby steps, and this happens over years, right? So maybe they were like 10 or 11 and they got a flip phone. By the time to get to
Mm-hmm.
the smartphone, maybe they're like 16 or 17, and over time, they have learned to use that as a connectivity device, not something that completely takes over their whole life. And by the time they leave the house, you have like a digitally mature young adult, right? Versus someone whose life is the phone absolutely taken over by their phone, and yeah, they can't really see much outside behind besides it. So
Okay.
hopefully
I
that
have
helps.
okay, I have two quick questions for you. I'm gonna have a backtrack a bit because we
Hmm.
can't then assume that people understand the whole idea, the whole concept of monitoring apps. Tell us a little
Mm.
bit about that.
Mm.
What are these
Yeah,
monitoring
so
apps that people can actually
yeah, that's
get access to?
that's a good
Mm-hmm.
clarification too. Because if I
Mm-hmm.
take a step back again,
Mm-hmm.
to kids, right? If I'm assuming I'm a parent to have a teen, the teen has been bugging me for the last 3 months
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
on the phone. Everybody has a phone, and you're like, well, I can't give them an iPhone. Like a lot of what is available today is, hey, well, I can give you if you download this app, it will like lock everything down. It will let you see. Um, everywhere your kid goes, it will let you see every text your kid gets. It will let you see every app they use. It will
Mm-hmm.
just, their privacy goes out the window
Right.
completely, just
Right.
so you have a sense of safety around what your kid is involved in.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know, it's kind of a tech problem being used to solve, or a tech solution, kind of being used to solve a tech problem.
Okay.
And I feel like it should be more a parent involved solution as opposed to just handing over the
What else?
that job to tech. And
Mm-hmm.
what we propose is our platform kind of shifts it more into the hands of like the parent and that relationship and that conversation versus doing something that kind of harms it with how it's structured.
Okay. Okay. How, based on what you've been doing, how do you
Hmm.
think then that people have actually utilized this or just utilized technology in general to connect more with their families rather than disconnecting, based on your experience?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I will start by saying we're new. We just launched in October, so a lot of what I have is the vision right now
Okay,
versus
okay,
like hard data.
okay.
And the vision really is I mean, this is not even a kid's problem, right? I'll be on a date with my wife and her phone pings and like I'm in the middle of a conversation. She's like, who talked to me? And like, who's on Instagram? Like, no one died, right? Maybe let's spend some time with each other.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
and I have the same problem, right? It's not just her.
mm-hmm,
So and those things are like, and we're adults, so we handle it
mm.
better, right?
Right.
But if you're a child and you don't have the brakes set up like they should be set up, it's just bad. It's something cool to do. You get sucked in, everybody is doing it, and you don't know any better.
Mm-hmm,
So ideally is to just, instead of get kids sucked into a device, is to just kind of pull them out of that world and help them realize, hey, there's a life. Look up. There's a life outside the phone. And
yeah.
and that's kind of what we're hoping to see, and not just for kids, but also just for parents and kids relationship. I mean, if I'm not stuck in this thing all day, um, hopefully I have time to be more present at the dinner table, have those small moments like with your parents and build a relationship, or have those small moments with your friends. If you have a group, something I've seen is like parents will buy phones together,
Mm-hmm,
such that in this community, all our kids don't have phones, so they all have friends that can connect offline and actually have more meaningful relationships and kind of build those, I guess, offline skills that sometimes you lose by being constantly stuck in a device.
mm. And that is true. As we're wrapping up the conversation, though, Peter, you said one thing that I want you to talk, maybe just from your personal experience, but
Hmm.
why do you think in a world of so many distractions, it's so hard for people to stay present in the moment?
I don't think it's so from the work I've done just with the business, I've learned a lot and I'm still learning. I don't want to say like I'm the one who knows everything, but
Right.
from what I've
Mm-hmm.
seen, like attention economy is a business, and I don't think people understand just
Mm-hmm.
how much of a well-oiled machine it is, right? I mean, any one example, right? Like if you pick up your phone and you make the mistake of clicking on Instagram, you spend at least 30 minutes before you look up and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, what just happened? Right? Like, cause like they know what they're doing. Like these, from what I've heard, it's psychologists that are involved in that process and getting the algorithm to work to hook you to figure out like what
Mm-hmm.
you really like to keep you on the platform. So me as a person, I'm fighting against like millions or even maybe billions of dollars of research, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, as an adult, I'm helpless against it. And then as kids, like you don't even want to go there. Like it's even way worse because those are like young
Mm-hmm.
developing brains.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so naturally, we're all going to struggle. And like, obviously, the companies, they got to take care of number one, right? So
Mm-hmm. The
they're
bottom
going to pour
line.
their money into that research and
Mm-hmm.
they make money by you staying on the platform. So, of course, then they have the money to do it. So they'll make it work. And you'll be there thinking, like, oh, I need more self-control. But I'm like, nah, there's a psychologist behind the algorithm. So, yeah, it's a little more than just like, I need self-control because it's built to keep you there. And I think that's what you're seeing a lot of today.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Any final thoughts before we wrap up this conversation? Of all that you've said, if
Hmm.
somebody's saying it's easy for you to say it's the industry you're in, you're probably at a state or a level of emotional maturity where you're able to disconnect when you want to. But so somebody who will who will watch this or will listen to this and say, I'm not quite there yet, Peter. What is your bit of advice to say? Be, with the
Be more
technology,
connected.
use it to connect rather than disconnect. What's your
I
bit of
think
advice?
it's a growth process. I mean, I've learned
Ah,
the
okay.
more as I focus more on this, I've learned more about myself, right? So there's and a lot of what um this is based in is like the nostalgia of before. But if I think about the time before, I didn't have this in my pocket the whole time, right? I didn't go to the bathroom with it. I didn't go to lunch with it. It just didn't follow me around everywhere. So maybe the first simple thing I can do, which sadly feels weird today, right, is I come home, maybe I'll leave this in the bedroom
Okay.
instead of walk around the house. It's a very simple thing. Just leave it somewhere else and then see what happens, right? And just simple things like that of just putting it away versus having it constantly available to just suck you in. And those 30 minutes again are gone, right? Before you know it. I think just things like that are things that can help you make that first step. Just more conscious decisions. And then just see what happens. You'll be surprised what you find out.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing, being intentional with the
Yeah,
use of the devices. Thanks for sharing,
definitely.
Peter. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. This was Making It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. I'm Noreen Daly. Until next time.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race. We hold it tight in every space, making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last. Making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last.